One is almost done. Actually, kind of is done at this point. So I just want to take an opportunity to do a recap over some things that we saw that I saw in week one. Give you some direction on your drafts, and then give you some reminders as we enter into week two. All right, so let's go ahead and begin. All right, first of all, excellent job with your submissions this week. I mean, I have been a kid in a candy store going through all your assignments and your grading. Thank you for the depth of work that you're doing. Please keep this up. I know this is week one, and you're like you're starting strong, but don't lose heart, don't lose your energy, because this is for me. This has actually been a really fun class to do. So I look forward to hearing your insights as we go throughout this class. Especially, I love y'all really nailed it on reading the literacy narrative. So you figured out all the things that I needed to see overall, and your depth of explanation was very good. Like, how's this going to affect your writing? What did you get from this to be able to use for you to be able to do what you need to do? So again, I am very impressed, and I'm very excited to see what's happening moving forward. All right, so just a quick review on a thesis statement. A thesis statement is a single statement of opinion. Pretty much, it is the glue of your essay. It's the core. If there is no thesis, there is no essay. In terms of this paper, you need to identify the progression. So um, you can be like, learning how to cook has helped grow me and help me in various ways, several ways, many ways. If you want to identify bam, 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 you can too. But the reason why I'm saying many, various, and several, using those in your thesis statement, because it gives you some room in the middle to structure things. If you go bing, bang, boom, like 1, 2, 3, it makes it difficult for you to add more things, because as you add more things, you have to go back and revise the thesis. So many, various, several. Okay? But remember, single statement of opinion, and we are avoiding in this SAI or this essay we'll discuss. The essay cannot will not jump up from the ashes and be like, I'm going to talk to you. First, if a piece of paper or if a random thing on my screen just started talking to me out the blue, I'll feel some type of way personally about that. But that's neither here nor there. All right, but last thing I want to discuss with you is our discussion boards. Everybody's doing really good with the initial post, but I want to talk about the replies to your classmates. A discussion board is exactly what that is, a discussion. And it's kind of hard to have a discussion when you just go, I agree. Why do you agree? What do you agree about? What do you notice? And then how can you extend the conversation further? Because a reply should want to make the original poster come back and talk. I mean, we do this all the time on social media. We post a comment, the people interact with that comment. We want to create that same energy and atmosphere here. So don't just leave one line. And so if you see you got a 40 out of 40 in a comment, that means there's something that has to be worked on. If you nailed it, I'm in a given mood this week, because I'm in a good mood this week. You got 5 additional points on the learning a literacy narrative. Now, just to make it known, never ask me for extra credit. Don't do it, because every time I'm just going to slide you a little something, something, because you've been doing what you're supposed to do, or you know what, like this is really good. This really stands out. Let me give a little bit extra. All right. So never go, can I have extra credit? Because it might just pop up when you least expect it. So make sure you are always doing your best at all times. All right, so let's go ahead and transition to our next thing. Recap. I wish I had sound effects on this thing, I swear, because I would have a field day. Now let's talk about preparing for your drafts. I didn't change my angle because this picture is massive. All right, so we're entering into the drafts for your first major writing assignment in this class. So a couple things I want to make sure that you know. So I'm going to explain to you MLA and APA format. I cannot go in super depth about this. I encourage you go into the course toolbox and dig deep. Okay. But but I really want to make sure that you know and understand the difference of MLA and APA format. There are several different methods of documentation and formatting in academia. The main two are MLA and APA. So to put it simply, if your major involves the natural sciences or social sciences or even technical things, you need to be using APA. Right? Starting in the fall, everybody from fall into perpetuity, that means falling in and out, we'll be learning APA because we are a technical and vocational college. So if you're definitely in those fields, you need to begin to practice APA now. All right. If you are like AA, you don't know what we're doing. If it's like a humanities-based major, MLA. Use MLA. Now, I challenge all of us, all of you, begin using APA since that will be the primary one for the college starting in the fall. If you need assistance, there is something called the course toolbox. And the very first folder is MLA APA basics, so pretty much how to use MLA APA. But also check out Purdue OWL. Purdue OWL, like, OWL. OWL, Online Writing Lab. They are one of, if not the foremost sources for methods of documentation, how to use citations. This is the stuff where professors like me get their information. So really use that resource if you want to know what's going on. All right, next is the narrative arc. Even though this is an essay, there has to be a narrative arc. This is where I started, this is the journey, and this is where we're at now. Okay? Is everybody clear on that? So, these things need to be there. You need to establish the setting and the context, okay? You saw all this in all those examples, and even the example that I posted, all right? Also need to look at progression, all right? So during this journey, from where you started to where you are now, who are your literacy sponsors? Most of you were able to identify it. Who are the people supporting you in your process? I know a lot of people said your mama. Like moms, if you read my story, mine actually talks about me and my mom relationship. So it could be your parents, could be your coaches, could be your teachers, could be your cousin, it could be the one-armed man down the street. But what matters is that you are able to identify the literacy sponsors and how they supported you along the way. Not just say, this is my coach. Make sure they're a part of the narrative, okay? Also, something that people forget to do is successes and failures and what you learned. Failure, losing a game is not a bad thing as long as you learn from it. And for you to get better from something, you have to learn from those times when you bump your head. So you need to show successes and failures. Because remember, progression is connection and disconnection. So remember I did this in the last video? So it is vital for you to make sure you have that in there. And then also end with where you are today. Like what is your journey point now? Like, are you still in it? Or what have you learned from it overall? How's it affected your life? Okay, where are you going with this? Are you going to continue this? Are you stopping this? Okay? But ultimately, please make sure that it is conversational in tone. I know everybody's used to these hyper-formal essays. I don't want this to be hyper-formal. I want to know what you actually sound like. I want to know what your voice is, okay? Which leads me to reminders. Go there. There we go. All right, so the first thing I had this fourth on my list, but I want to take care of this now. I have already dealt with issues with people using AI in this class. AI is a great tool. It's amazing. You can use it. It's great for brainstorming and figuring out ideas. But I don't want to hear what the computer has to say. I want to hear what you got to say. This is teaching you how to compose and create text and other forms of composition to convey a message, not the computer. I don't care if your writing is not that strong. That's why we're all in this class. We're learning and growing together. It doesn't matter. I'm not expecting you to be the next what's that one guy? F. Scott Fitzgerald or Maya Angelou or whoever. I don't expect you to have this big old academic voice. No. I want to hear from you. I want to help you build your skills. Okay? I want to help you build your skill set so that way you are able to walk into a space, walk into your classrooms, walk into your jobs, and be able to communicate well. All right, I cannot stress this enough. I don't want to hear from a computer. I want to hear from you. All right? If you're worried about your writing, if you're scared about your writing, that's what peer review is for. That's what we're doing next week. Okay, so please make sure you. I don't want to hear from AI. I don't feel like I want to hear from your auntie, your mama, your uncle, your daddy, your cousins, your friend down the street who know how to write. I don't want to hear from them. I want to hear from you. And it is my job to help sharpen your skills so that way you are able to move forward. So with that, AI is treated like academic dishonesty. And yes, I have ways to check. In fact, I I've had to deal with one case already, and it's already been submitted to student conduct. So if you're at that point of desperation, I'm on campus. Come talk to me in person. We can do a virtual meeting. I don't want you to ever feel like that. Feel so desperate that you have to literally cheat to get it done. Again, AI is a great tool. I'm looking at how to integrate AI in future classes and teach and how, so that people can use it in a way that it is positive, that it is a tool. But it cannot be the thing that does the work for you. Because even though AI can knock out essays, it doesn't get anything right. It doesn't get a lot of things right and makes up sources. It's crazy. All right? So I want to hear from you. So make sure from now on, I'm hearing from you. Cool? Cool. All right. Also remember that your work is due Mondays and Thursdays by 11:59 p.m., but still pay attention because your peer reviews are due at noon. Then it's due at noon the day that it's due, and then it's due 24 hours later-ish. And you'll also see it in the assignment when it appears in the folder. Please make sure you pay attention to that. Because if you don't do your draft, people can't evaluate your draft in time. And then I can evaluate your draft in time. And pretty much, if I don't see that everything's there, I'm not giving you a grade. So it can't just be this all of a sudden, I gotta get my draft up. No. Because with the drafts, you're hurting someone else's grade if you turn it in late. Also, please make sure to turn things in correctly. This is not a multimodal project, so it needs to be Word or PDF only. Do not submit the text in that regular text box or as a link, because half of y'all don't make the links public anyway. Word or PDF. If it is not there, I will not grade it. I will direct the people who are doing the drafts, who are doing your peer edits, to ignore it. Please make sure you turn things in correctly. All right. Also, because work is due on Mondays and Thursdays, attendance is on Fridays. So, in fact, right now, I just went through your grades. That's how I was able to do this so quick. And I will be putting in attendance, okay? I will not go back and put in attendance because attendance is for work completed for that week. All right, so week 1 attendance is for work completed in week 1 before Fridays at noon. All right? If you need more time, and you all have been very diligent about this, I appreciate it. If you need more time, try to catch me before Friday at noon. You'll more than likely get it. Okay? Y'all have been wonderful with that, and I really appreciate that. Let's keep that same energy, okay? Now, the last thing is synchronous meetings. I've been trying to avoid having them. The reason is I know all of our schedules are very busy, and it's an hour, and some weeks I have everybody, and some weeks I might have 2 people, and that's a lot to try to deal with. So I'm going to put it to you. Do you like that I'm pre-recording things, or would you still like to have that some form of that synchronous meeting? So you tell me. I'm going to put something in the Blackboard spot for this, and I want you to tell me, should we have synchronous meetings, or keep things as they are, or do a mix of the two? So I'm game to whatever y'all want to do. All right? Cool? Awesome. If you need anything, please email me at greenc35637, greenc35637 at hocking.edu. I do check my email. Most of y'all figure it out. I actually check my emails, and I do respond. I try to get back to you within 24 to 48 business hours. So that, which is kind of like a long time. But 1 to 2 days on average. If it's the weekend, I don't expect this response until Monday. All right? But I really want to make sure that you all have what you need to succeed. So pretty much our focus for next week is going to be submitting your personal narratives and doing some reflective work. Please read Workshop is Not For You. I'm going to post. So I'm going to take some time, and I'm going to post an additional video about how to do peer edit. So you won't get the office, you'll get my house again. So that way you really know how to do it and do it well. Okay. All right. Otherwise, best of luck. Please keep in touch, keep in contact. Have a wonderful weekend.